Hiya, everyone. Today we're going to be looking at another nonfiction book. It's called I Wonder Why the Sea is Salty. And this is kind of a cool book. It's written in an interesting way that I want to share with you so you can kind of think, is that something you want to do in your writing today? So, I Wonder Why the Sea is Salty, and other questions about the ocean. I wonder why the sea is salty. So this is the table of contents page, and it's kind of cool because, as you can see, each table of contents piece is asking a question. So on page 4, the question is, how big is the ocean? Or on page 10, you have, what is sand made of? Or page 23, what is a coral reef? So each one is titled by the question that is asked on it. Okay, so first page, how big is the ocean? The ocean is truly enormous. It covers more than twice as much of Earth as land does. In fact, it's made up of 4 oceans: the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, and the Arctic. Although these all have different names, they flow into one another, making one huge world ocean. And then this little guy says, don't go for a swim in the Arctic Ocean. It's the coldest of the oceans, and for most of the year, it's covered in ice. Which is the biggest ocean? The Pacific is by far the biggest ocean in the world. It's larger than the other 3 oceans put together. And it's also much deeper. If you look at a globe, you'll see that the Pacific Ocean reaches halfway around the world. These drops of water show the oceans in order of size. So we have the Pacific, big drop. Atlantic, that's our ocean. A little bit smaller. Indian, smaller. Arctic, little teeny drop. What's the difference between a sea and an ocean? People often use the words sea and ocean to mean the same thing. That's fine, but to a scientist, seas are just part of an ocean, the parts that are closest to land. For example, the Caribbean Sea is between Central America and the Caribbean islands. Why is the sea salty? Seawater tastes salty because it has salt in it. The salt is the same as the stuff that people sprinkle on food. Most of it comes from rocks on land. Rain washes the salt into rivers, which carry it to the sea. And the little blip says, most of Earth's water is salty, only a tiny part of fresh water that we can drink. So how does the author show information in this book? They're not just saying the information. There's a special way in which they're showing it. Anyone figure out how they're doing it? It's by asking questions and then answering. Asking questions and then answering. That's one really cool way that some authors share their information, by asking a question and then finding out the answer for that question. So we are going to practice that very topic today. We're going to do a quick write. So make sure you have a piece of paper and a pencil ready to go. If you need to pause the video right now and go get a piece of paper and a pencil, go do it. Okay. I'm not going to stay like this because it's kind of weird. All right, so hopefully you have your piece of paper and your pencil at this point. We're going to do a quick write. And I want you to think of it as if you were going to write a question and answer book just like The Sea is Salty, what questions might you ask? So the first thing I want you to do is think of a topic that's really interesting to you. So I might pick seals because I love seals, or llamas because I think llamas are kind of cool, or Abraham Lincoln because he's a cool guy. Right? So think about a nonfiction topic that's interesting to you. Could be Minecraft or Roblox or soccer. Take a minute and think about that. Okay, and then write at the top of your paper, write what thing you want to ask your questions about. So I'm going to go with llamas. I've decided. L-L-A-M-A-S. Llamas. All right, write your thing at the top of the page. Doesn't have to be llamas. That's my thing, because I like llamas. Choose something you're interested about and maybe want to know more about. You ready? Ready for the quick write? I have my timer here that I'm going to push my screen down so that you can see the timer. Like that. But I don't expect you to be watching the timer the whole time. You should be writing for the 5 minutes because remember in a quick write, we try to keep our pencils moving the whole time. So your job in this quick write is to come up with as many questions as you can about the topic that you chose. Okay? If you start running out of ideas, you can see if you could try to answer those questions as well. Totally up to you. But the goal is to keep your pencil moving for 5 whole minutes. All right. Are you ready? Gotta do a little loosen up, some finger push-ups so they're ready to write for 5 minutes. Okay. Pencils at the ready, my friends. On your mark. Get set. Go. Time. Pencil down. No cheating. I see you. Okay. How many questions did you come up with? I got 11, almost 12. I didn't get to finish that one quite exactly about llamas. If you want to post how many questions you came up with, you can. You don't have to. It can be your private information if you want. Okay. I hope you got some really cool questions about your nonfiction topic. Today for writing, you have a couple choices, like always. You may choose to write more questions about a nonfiction topic. You can work on a piece that you've started earlier, or you can start a new piece of writing. So those are your three choices. Give you a second to look at it. You are more than welcome to post your writing on Seesaw, or if you'd rather write it on paper, you can also take a picture of it, or you don't have to share it with me. As long as you do your writing today, your teacher will be happy. All right, friends, enjoy your writing today.